Yo, I know I'm gonna be called Uncle Tom, sellout, all of this stuff. But still doesn't excuse the fact that we have to stop blaming the white man for everything. Straight up. It's just that plain and simple, especially in 2022. Now, let me say this for the sake of the conversation. When we were kidnapped, because that's what we were, kidnapped, stolen, and forcibly enslaved to do whatever bidding that they want us to do, whether it was picking cotton or whatever, right? We had a valid argument back then. Even in the early 60s, in the civil rights, when they were trying to get equal rights for black people, people such as your Dr. Martin Luther King's, we had a right to kind of like blame the white man. But in 2022, if you're blaming a white man, I don't want to even be friends with you for your problems, your situations that you created. That plain and simple. The problem with the black community is this word that they refuse to hear, that they don't want to hear, which is accountability. You have to be held accountable for your own actions. And it's just that plain and simple. Stop blaming the white man for every goddamn thing you do. Because the white man wasn't there when you shot and killed your own brother. You can't blame the white man for that. Point blank, period. If you break the law, you got to go to jail. It's just that plain and simple. Now, I do understand that, there are certain companies, corporations that exploit us as black people. One of them being the NBA. The other one being the NFL. I mean, the whole entertainment industry exploits black people. But you know what? Before that happens, you know what you're getting into. Point blank, period. For rappers that sign these fucked up contracts, these 360 contracts, it's like, come on, it's 2022, motherfucker. Even if you don't have an elder there to tell you right from wrong, you have what you call the fucking internet. And you can look up anything on YouTube, any social media, or just Google this shit. And you can learn about contracts, record deals, all of that shit. There are no excuses in 2022. Straight up. I remember back in the days, I was like, yo, man, I want to leave. I want to go to Africa. I want to do this and that and so forth. And I thought somebody was holding me back. Ain't nobody holding me back. If I wanted to leave the United States of America and move to another country, I can. Straight up. That's real. That's real. I've been out of the country. I've been to the West Indies. You understand? And before I got there, I had to have this, a passport. I'm trying to understand, how did the white man stop me from leaving the United States and going to the West Indies? Where he gave me a passport. He had to give it to me. Straight up. And yes, true indeed, you don't supposed to have a passport in order to travel the world. But we're living in the United States. And this is their laws. This man gave me a passport in order for me to get to where I gotta go. Outside of the United States. This man gave me the right to bear arms. Legally. So I don't understand why you dumb motherfuckers are walking around with burners with the serial number scratched off. All you had to do, on the streets, regular guns going $300-400. Nigga, you could go to Cabela's and Pro Bass Shop and get that shit. But you too fucking weak. You too fucking lazy to want to do things the right way. It's just that plain and simple. Nobody is holding you back in 2022. Straight up. I make money while I'm asleep. How is the white man stopping me from making money? Because y'all oftentimes say that shit. Oh, the white man doing this, the white man doing... Ain't no white man doing shit to me. I'm living where I want to live. I'm making the money that I want to make. I'm doing what the fuck I want to do. And that's my word. I don't have a problem with the white man. I just don't. I really fucking don't. I go to the same gym they go to. I eat the same fucking foods that they eat. I go to Whole Foods. I can live in the uppity neighborhoods. Yes, true indeed. There's a thing called stereotypes, prejudge or prejudice. You know what I'm saying? When you move into these white neighborhoods. But goddamn it, if it was an all black neighborhood and a white man moved into it, I would be suspicious of the situation. It's just that plain and simple. But black people don't want to be held accountable for shit. Black people don't want to say, you know what? The person that's holding me back is me. That plain and simple, man. The older that I get, the more wise I become. And I can tell you, man, at the end of the day, if you stop blaming a white man and every fucking body else for your bullshit, fuckery, you'll be all right. If you look in that mirror and hold yourself accountable for your negative actions, hold yourself accountable on the reasons why you got 5 baby mamas. Hold yourself accountable to the reasons why you got 50 plus years in prison. Hold yourself accountable to the reason why you got fucking AIDS. You got to be held accountable for that shit. And the minute that you hold yourself accountable for everything, you'll be all right. See, I can't blame no one but me. Straight up. And like I said before, and I say it again, if people want to say, well, you know, they created the game and they're massive manipulators and this and that and so forth, listen, you know what the game is. So if you know what the game is and you know how they play it in the United States and you don't like it, you can actually leave. You can leave. You can move to anywhere around the world. You don't have to live in the United States. So if you're here, if you're the one to say, you know what, the white man did this, the white man did that, if you don't want to put up with his shit, you can leave. He's not holding you hostage. Straight up. Now taking heed, once you leave, whatever monies you owe to him, you got to pay him. But other than that, you can leave. Straight up. This is real. Like, I'm not saying that white supremacy is coming down tomorrow, white privilege and all that shit. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that due to the internet, due to us being able in this day and time to make money online, like we could turn ourselves into a brand. Man, I'm trying to understand what is the fucking problem. I'm trying to understand that. Let me tell you something, man. I make money, you know, in several different ways. But I can tell you, man, when I get that YouTube check, I'm like, oh, okay. It's not as big as I wanted to be. But at the end of the day, man, somebody's paying me for just being me. For just getting up here on my platform and saying what I have to say. Matter of fact, it ain't even my platform. It's the white man's platform. I don't own YouTube. Let alone a channel, to be honest with you. The only thing that I own is my words. That's it. So you gotta stop blaming the white man for shit, man. Because in this day and time, man, the only person that's holding you back is you. That's real talk. In this day and time, we have the opportunity to have exactly what the white man has. Period. And if he stunts you, he stunts your growth. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, for example, if you want to open up a distribution company, right? Whatever that distribution company is, the white man don't want you to open it. You know you can go across seas and open it up, right? Like, we need to start being men and women. Real men and women. Straight up. And this is the reason why nobody really respects us. Because we don't want to put in the work. All we want to do is bitch and complain, talk about some reparations. The white man ain't going to give you shit. I'm just going to be real with you. That whole reparation shit, that ain't going to happen. And if and when it does, he's going to give you what he wants to give you. So you talking about we want reparations, all that shit, I tell you to wait on it. And by the time I come back and ask you, yo, you still waiting on it? You'll probably be a skeleton by then. So your reparations, you better dead that shit and get your ass to motherfucking work. It's just that plain and simple. If you don't want to work for the white man, you bitching and complaining how the white man did this to you, the white man did that and this, that, and so forth. He want to give you breaks and tell you when to get off and when to. Nigga, become an entrepreneur, own your own business. Straight up. Straight up. It's just no excuses now, man. It really isn't. Does police brutality still exist? Yes. Does redlining exist? Yes. You know what I'm saying? These voter rights and shit like that, how they manipulating, black people and just, the way, specifically the Republicans, what they're doing. That shit is, they're making it very obvious as well as, like, very fucking, what's the word I'm looking for, man? I can always get tongue-tied with this shit. Difficult for black people to vote. But if we all know this shit, then guess what? We need to take our vote elsewhere. Meaning we need to go to another country. Or we need to form our own party. Instead of the donkey and the jackass and the elephant. Straight up. This is a new day and time, man. Well, if you don't like something, you don't have to do it. But at the same time, if you don't like it, you don't want to do it, you have to create something on your own. And that's the problem with black people. You don't want to build any type of foundation. I hear these Moors talking about, America's ours and da-da-da-da and this and that and so forth. And they're trying to, black Moors, well, more meaning black, you know what I'm saying? But these, I don't know what is the Noble Drew Ali's, you know what I'm saying? They talk about how they got rights and this and that and so forth. And I don't know whether they slowly but surely trying to take over America. I don't know. All I know is, if you don't like some shit, leave. Because the white man is not giving up America. No matter what the fuck you say. No matter how much you can prove, how much you can prove that you were here before him. Or you talk about the Olmekians and all that. That shit don't matter. What matters is, I'm just telling you, this is his frame of thought. What matters is, I came over here, I conquered this shit, and now y'all motherfuckers have to listen and abide by my rules and regulations. If you don't like it, you can leave. Back in the days, you couldn't. Back in the days, we were slaves. Back in the days, we would run, and it's crazy. They would call that drapetomania. For real, they looked at that shit as a condition. An illness for slaves to run away. But back in the days, you would run away and you had the slave patrol that eventually became the police force, the modernized police force that you see today. That's not happening in 2022. Nobody's, running after you with bloodhounds and shit like that. Nobody gives a fuck where the fuck you live. Straight up. Now, I do understand, like I said before, they don't want us in their neighborhoods. But it's kind of difficult nowadays. If you have good credit and you have the money, and also you have the credentials, like rental history, hey, they can hardly deny you nowadays. But of course, you have some black people that want to blame everybody but themselves. And this is the reason why we are where we're at. You see, the reality of it is we want the white man to hold our hands as we cross the road. We want the white man to feed us, clothe us, and all the rest of that shit. And if you don't believe me, you can see black people walking around with name brand shirts on every day. European name brand shirts on. Matter of fact, this shirt is American Eagle. This is a Pro Bass Shop hat. So if we're so fed up and sick and tired of the white man, stop wearing his clothes. Stop eating his genetically modified food. Because when you go to the grocery store, let me tell you something. I go to the grocery store. When you go to the grocery store, all that shit is fucked up. All of it across the board, even the produce. For all you vegetarians and also meat eaters. If you're not farming, then you don't know what the fuck is in a grocery store. You just don't. You don't know the ingredients of what they're putting in your food. If you so fed up with the white man, stop Stop relying on him to eat. Stop relying on him to clothe you and all the rest of that shit. You know, I try to be patient, but enough is enough. You know that there are black people that go to a public school. Listen to what I'm saying. Public. When you go to a public school, it's open to the public. So that means that whoever or whatever can come to that school, can attend that school. So you got black people going up to the school, cursing out the white teachers and how they this, that, blah, 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 blah. You don't like the curriculum. I remember I went to school, and that's all they said, taught was black people were slaves, and we learned that in history, we learned about that black people were slaves, and then American history was the Civil War, and all these great men that fought and this and that and so forth. Let me tell you something. Definitely whitewashing going on in public schools. But guess what? If you don't like it, take your child out and homeschool them. But see, you don't want to do that. Because it's called, what is it called? Responsibility. You don't want to be responsible for your own child. But you want to dictate to everybody else how to educate your own child. That shit don't even make sense to me. Period. Say what you want to say, man. You call me a sellout. You can say that Langston 2019 has lost his mind and all that shit. All I know is when I get up in the morning, I put my P365 6 Sour Micro Compact handgun inside my holster with an extra magazine. And I can conceal it. I can put it under my shirt. Because I have a license to do it. You go to another country, you won't be able to do that. See, I've been out of the country. And I know what other countries are like. And let me tell you something. Believe it or not, we got it good over here. To a certain extent, I'm not lying. We got it good over here. When people say that there are a lot of people that are living in the third world countries, like living under the poverty line, let me tell you something. The projects in America are like condos and penthouses compared to the people that live in these third world countries. Can't hardly get drinking water and shit. You understand? We sitting here continue to talk about white privilege, but we don't talk about just overall American privilege, motherfucker. I can get in my fucking car. We just got we got a brand new car, but it's like about 2-3 years old. But to us, you know what I'm saying? We got a brand new motherfucking car. I'm driving, I'm listening to whatever music that I want to listen to. I have money so I can buy whatever the fuck I want to buy. I keep my motherfucking pistol on me. Where can you do that? Outside of America. And that's real talk. I can live wherever I want to, just about everywhere I want to live. Shit, I was going to go to the beach this week, but it rained the whole fucking week in South Carolina. I don't know what to say, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, back in the days, yeah, we had a right, say white man. Now, come on, man. Ain't nobody holding you back but you. And it's just that plain and simple. Other than that, my name is Langston 2092. Once you like, comment, subscribe, definitely share this video. I'm out.